Hello YouTube, I hope everybody is doing great, and today I'm trying something and I don't know if it's gonna fly and destroy or what it's gonna happen to it. So anyway, this is my home built DIY CNC lathe that I built, and I made several videos. If you like to see them, please check my videos on that. And well, it started out with having this die, and I want to cut a thread with it, and I have to have a way to hold this onto my lathe. And upon searching on the internet, I stumbled onto, well, I have put it in the chuck already here, and actually this is a part that I SLA printed, and it has an opening for, it has a hole, obviously, many holes, and this is supposed to go in here. And the designer of this, which provides these files for free, and I will link it to it in the description, kindly, yeah, provides it for free. So anyway, in his video he has this part cut out of, I think, steel or aluminum, I'm not sure. And since I don't have any material in this size, I had 3D printed it, or SLA printed it. And the reason why he has this is because he has different sizes for different tab sizes. So this is the largest one for a 1.5 inch tab that I have here, and that holder is mounted to this holder here. And this is also 3D printed in his video. So I did 3D print this with ABS, and it has 4 mounting holes where you mount this piece into this piece. I will show that once I get it out of there. And this piece gets hold onto the tailstock, and it is rotatable. And this also has some holes outside of it which you cannot see because I have put some shim on here because I didn't want to destroy the outside of it. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. As you might know, I just machined a metal 3D printed part in the lathe, and I would put also a link to that in the description. And this is my first time machining an SLA printed part. So I don't know what's gonna happen, if it's gonna break, explode, or what's gonna happen. Anyway, it has some holes on the outside where you can, well, the original piece is out of metal, so you can obviously thread it and then put some, I don't know, holders or levels, so you can torque it with more torque if you need to, or whatever. And this is made this way, it's grippy, so you can thread on it by hand, and if it's not enough you can put those extensions in and then torque it even further. So anyway, I also actually had, well, this is my holder that I machined on this machine for a regular holder like this one that I actually had in here. And then I was machining this part, and the hole turned out, well, it would have turned out larger, so I did buy a reamer, but I never got to finish this. And then I figured I can just turn this thing, it was mounted like this, and since this is all aluminum profile and I have the nuts in here, I mounted it this way so I can use my boarding bar with this holder. I had to raise it up, of course, because this tip needs to be in the center. And it's anyway, long story short, if you know anything about lathe, you know what I mean. I had to raise it to get it in center with this with the line here. So anyway, enough talk. Let me put my camera on my holder here and then we'll see what happens. So I put my camera in the holder, and this is the first time. I still did not try anything here. There's no material here, so we'll see what happens. Let me fast forward the chuck, the table, compound table. Okay, I hope it will survive, but if not, we just print another one, right? What could possibly go wrong? Everything. Okay, of course I have no idea what spindle speed I need. Let's try maybe 500. I don't know. Let me put this in. We'll try. I hope you can still hear my voice. Oh. Okay, that might have been too much already. Actually, I think that's pretty much dead on. Well, I don't want to take this video, make it too long, so we just go for it and see what happens. It didn't explode yet. I will reduce the speed a little bit more. 9%. Turn on the spindle. And here we go. Okay, should I blow it or suck this? Okay, please bear with me, I'm not a professional at this. Is this luck? Or in Germany we say können. That's perfect. I have done it. So now I can take it out and show you what I'm talking about. Put the camera back. Okay. It's a nice snug fit. It will go further in there. So as you see, it has two large holes, so you can put rods to have more torque on it. And we have it here. These are the 4 holes that go in here, like that. And then you have 4 smaller holes which I threaded, and you can see here how the SLA print chipped, but only on that hole. And these holes align with the holes on the tab. Let me try to get it out of here. Actually comes out nicely, and those holes align with those holes, and that's what holds the die in the holder, and the holder goes onto the handle, and then you will have a tailstock where you can put this on here, and then you can thread. And what I'm gonna do with that, since I do not have a tailstock yet, or mine is different obviously here, video's a little crooked, please excuse that. I have this nut, which is a 21mm nut, and that goes perfectly tight in here, so you can still turn it, but there is no wobble. So my plan is to mount this onto this, have this that fits with the bottom plate you see here, and if I mount it like that, it fits exactly. Well, I actually put a drill bit in here, mounted this on here, and then drilled the hole, so it's perfectly center this way and that way. And if I mount this on here, I can put this on here and then do my tapping. And again, a big thank you. I just saw this video, please excuse me. I will try to put his name on the screen here, and big thanks to him for this holder, and it's just perfect. And if I have some smaller dies in diameter, outside diameter, and this comes like with 4 or 5 different holders, and he also made a nice wooden box to put all this in there. I mean, it looks like bought, it looks like a $1,000 setup, and he provides the files for free. A big thank you to him. And I will eventually make probably this out of metal, probably just out of aluminum, and if I get a bare stock like that. And he also, oh, I forgot, he also has a jig, because once you drilled it on a normal lathe, you would not be able to drill those holes. And he has a jig for the holder that you put in, and then you can drill all these holes in the exact position that you need. It's just perfect. And he also has for his box 3D printed liners that these items fit in there. I mean, it's beautiful work. It's really beautiful work, and I can again not thank him enough for the idea, for supplying the files, and this made it possible for me to do this on low cost with just material cost. And my workaround, of course, he has a like a M2 taper arbor, that he uses this. I'm doing it poor man's guide way. Oh, and actually, to mount this onto here, I will cut down this, or I could just use a screw maybe also. And this holder is actually also usable with an what was it, 22? No, ER20 holder. Now I forgot the clamping nut. So this is 12 millimeters, and this will be bored out to 12 millimeters, and then I will mount this, and then I could just hold the hole, a screw through the hole here, and mount it on here. So it's I mean, it's not you're cutting thread by hand. I mean, I'm not high-speed machining anything. So oh, and now you ask me, you have a CNC lathe, why don't you cut the thread directly onto the stock that I'm gonna use, because the CNC controller I have, it does read the spindle speed, but it cannot adjust it for threading, unfortunately. And I found that out after I bought the board and mounted it into my controller box, which I can show you in case you are not looking at the other videos. This is my controller board. Here it is. And this is just a PC case that I bought for this whole thing and wired it inside, and it's connected with many wires to the lathe. And here are my two controllers that I'm using. This is my keypad, my first version, and my pendant. And here is my Sony old laptop running Mach turn. So what I also want to mention, in case you're watching this the first time seeing my lathe, I also have a stepper motor in here that is connected with the second belt here, which makes the head an indexing head, so I can index this to any position. Technically, if I'm machining this part, I can index it and then drill the holes, because I will also mount a drill on here. So anyway, I think I said enough. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to support me, you can buy a product from my Tinder store, send me a thanks or super thanks via PayPal and YouTube, or even maybe become a Patreon. That would be really nice. So anyway, this is it for today, and once I have the rest figured out and made, I will make a second video, an update video to this. So this is part 1, and part 2 will follow. Again, if you want not to miss it, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. And thank you, and stay safe, everybody.